All right, let's talk about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind. How do you actually get more effective at your job? Today, we're going to bust a huge myth about productivity and then give you a super simple, powerful framework to make it happen.
So let's just dive right in with the question that, might hit a little close to home. Do you ever look around and wonder, hey, why isn't my salary going up? Or why am I not getting that promotion? It's a really frustrating feeling, and trust me, you are not the only one asking that question.
So where does that frustration really come from? Well, a lot of the time, it's because of a simple, totally human trap we all fall into. We compare ourselves to other people. We're constantly looking at their work, their income, and we feel like we're falling behind. But you know what? That whole comparison game is just a distraction from what really, truly matters.
So what's the actual solution here? It is not about working longer hours. It's about becoming more effective in the time you already have. Because when you can get more high-quality work done in the same 8-hour day, well, that career growth you're looking for starts to happen almost automatically.
This brings us to what I like to call the productivity puzzle, right? How do we actually pull this off? How do we get to that higher level of effectiveness? Let's start breaking down the pieces.
First, let's just get on the same page about what we mean by effectiveness. All it is this: the ability to get more great work done in the same amount of time. That is a skill that leads to the kind of natural, automatic career growth that we're all after.
Okay, so to get there, we first have to tackle one of the biggest, most persistent myths in the world of productivity: the whole idea of multitasking.
Here's the hard truth. Our brains are just not wired to do two complex things at the exact same time. It's not a thing. What we think is multitasking is actually our brain just switching back and forth between tasks really fast, which, it turns out, is incredibly inefficient.
And this little chart makes it super clear. Think about it. You can listen to music while you're cooking, right? No problem. That's because cooking uses your visual and motor skills, while music uses your hearing. They're on different channels, so they don't compete. But now try listening to music and a news report at the same time. It's impossible. Your brain just can't process two streams of audio at once. It creates this mental traffic jam.
So, every single time you try to check your emails while you're on a phone call or you're writing a report while half listening to a meeting, you're not being more productive. You are actively making your brain perform worse. The quality of both things just tanks.
So, if we can't multitask, then the goal has to be focusing on one single thing at a time. But man, that is so much easier said than done, isn't it? Which brings us to our next huge challenge: conquering all those distractions that pop up every single day.
And they come from everywhere. You've got the external stuff like noise in the office or a phone call you weren't expecting, but then there's the internal stuff too. Your own brain is a thinking machine, and it's constantly throwing other thoughts and to-dos at you, pulling your focus away from the one thing you're trying to do right now.
But here's the good news. The payoff for getting a handle on these distractions is absolutely huge. I mean it. When you can create this little bubble of focus for yourself, you can get the exact same amount of work done in way less time. And you'll probably make fewer mistakes too.
So how do we actually do it? Here are 3 really practical strategies. First, just commit to it. Finish one thing before you even think about starting the next. Second, you got to get all those tasks out of your head. Write down your to-do list for the day. This frees up so much mental energy because your brain stops worrying about remembering everything and can actually focus on the task at hand. And third, there's this powerful little trick called the 5-second rule.
Okay, so here's how this works. The next time you hear a conversation nearby, or your phone buzzes and you feel that pull, that impulse to look away, just stop. In your head, silently count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That simple little action interrupts the impulse, and it gives you this tiny window of control to consciously pull your attention back to what you were doing. It's such a small habit, but it can make a massive difference.
Okay, so we've talked about what not to do, which is multitasking, and we've got a great trick for managing distractions. So now for the final piece of the puzzle, a simple, structured blueprint to organize your entire workday. It's called the 18-minute rule.
18. That's it. Just 18 minutes out of your entire 8 or 9-hour workday. That is all you need to put this system in place and stay incredibly focused.
So here's how it breaks down. You spend the very first 5 minutes of your day just planning out what you need to do. Then, at the top of every single hour, you take just 1 minute, 60 seconds to reset, look at what you just did, and plan the next hour. And finally, you use the last 5 minutes of your day to review what you got done and get set up for tomorrow.
See? This isn't complicated at all.
It's just a simple structure of planning, doing these little hourly check-ins, and then doing a final review. This framework basically acts like guardrails for your attention, constantly pulling you back to your main priorities and keeping you super effective all day long.
And that really just sums it all up, doesn't it? It is such a tiny investment of your time for a huge, huge return in focus and productivity. Just 18 minutes to completely change how you move through your day.
So, as we wrap up, you've got 3 really powerful tools in your pocket now. Busting that multitasking myth for good, using the 5-second rule to fight off distractions, and applying the 18-minute blueprint to structure your day. The only question left is, which one are you going to try tomorrow?